Respected comrades on the dais, President Comrade Amani Veerabhadram, our Cpim State Secretary, Comrade N. Narasimha Reddy, Comrade Michi Reddy, and Comrade T. Devi, and dear comrades and friends who are sitting in the auditorium. I am grateful to the Sundarayya Vijnana Kendra for inviting me to speak here in this function as part of the Sundarayya death anniversary and as part of Sundarayya Memorial Lecture. And the subject is Threat to Constitutional Principles of Federalism. And this subject is also very pertinent and important at this critical juncture. And Comrade Sundarayya is a person, is a legendary figure throughout the country. He is even now worshipped as a legendary figure of freedom fight. And the great Telangana struggle, even today, it is giving enthusiasm and spirit to the minds of the people. And being a person who is very much related to the Kisan movement, I feel this is a very special occasion to me to remember the days of Comrade Sundarayya, and the subject which is selected as part of this Sundarayya lecture is also very important, because the fight and the fight for the right of the people, which we started much earlier, is still continuing, and the judgment which was pronounced by the Honorable Supreme Court today is also a continuation to the thing Comrade said here. The spirit of cooperative federalism is very much questioned during these days, especially started from the days of Congress rule, and these days it is questioned very much. So the subject is very important and very timely for the political situation in the country. But Comrade, first, dear friends, first, what about the federal character of our country? Why it was developed like this? We all know, because we have a union of. Actually, the constitution starts like this. India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. Dr. Ambedkar and the team of Constituent Assembly never wrote that India is a union and states. India is a union of states. That means if states are not there, there is no union. And union and states is not there. So without states, union is not there. That is the concept of federalism and why it came like that. Many states, princely states like Telangana, more than 500 states and hundreds and thousands of cultures, language, food habits, cultural habits be united. And we have to protect the sentiments and interest of each and everyone of the country. That is why we decided for cooperative federalism. And the concept of cooperative federalism is generally means that the states should be sound, happy and healthy, strong, and the center, the union also should be strong. But now the country is passing through a very difficult situation, and the functions and powers of the government, now the tendency is that centralizing the powers of the states. I am mainly dealing with the financial powers because that is one of the important area now. But not only financial powers, all other powers. For example, recently our Union Home Minister said that Hindi, everyone should study Hindi and speak in Hindi. Yes, we like Hindi, but you like Telugu, I like Malayalam. Our right to speak in our language, our right to speak in and write and enrich our language, that is our right. But we are like Hindi, no problem. But compelling to speak of and use official language as one language like Hindi or any other language is not the spirit of true federalism. That's why the centralization of powers is going very strongly in the country. The powers of the union and states are very clearly defined in the Indian Constitution. However, at many occasions, the provisions of the constitution itself was violated by the union government. And there were some instances. The article 356 was used by the union government, and the elected state governments were overthrown, overpowered by the union. Kerala and Tamil Nadu were victims of this particular provision of the constitution in 1959, 76 and 91. Few other states are also was under attack as under this provision. The first elected government in 1957 was dismissed using this provision. So these kind of political intervention, administrative intervention was very much there from the initial days itself. Friends, apart from the political division of powers, the constitution clearly defines the financial powers of the states, expenditure commitment of the states and the center. And in the case of financial powers, the expenditure commitment too, there is a huge inequality between the union and the state government. For example, I can say, as per the 15th Finance Commission, not from abroad, it is 15th Finance Commission said that in their report they said 62.7% of the total receipts are being taken by the union government, while 62.4% of the expenditure commitment are on the shoulders of the state governments. This is a clear case of vertical fiscal gap biased in favor of the union government, which assumes more powers to raise revenue in comparison with state governments. That is, 2/3 of the income is going to the center, but state is getting only 1/3 of the income. And expenditure side, 2/3 of the expenditure state have to bear. So this is the inequality. The states had taxing powers during the time of sale tax regime. That means before GST and before the VAT regime, state had the total taxation, total taxation powers. Then states were free to tax according to the needs of the state and according to the commercial interest also, for protecting some kind of production, some kind of products and for taxation. Then the value-added tax system came. There was some reduction of the independent powers of state. And while introducing the GST, the financial powers were totally infringed. Now the state is having only powers to tax only 3 items, that is petrol, diesel and liquor. Even cooking gas is not with the state. Now the increase of 1000 rupees like that, 1100 rupees like that is under GST. Percentage of tax is only 5%, but they are arbitrarily increasing the prices. So only 3 items are with the states. And GST regime came into power. We, from the left, at that time we said that we are not for this. This will affect the taxation powers, and the state government have to come to the center with a begging bowl for getting money, because state exchequer will be finished. And now, after the GST, many promises were there. I was in the committee, select committee of Rajya Sabha of GST, and we gave a dissent note. We said that this will affect the federal character of the country, and the states cannot take any decision, and finance ministers of the states will be just like managers, just distribute the fund which we are getting from the center. That will be going to happen. And now, after the introduction of GST, there is arbitrary decision of taxation powers. There is a sharp decline in the income of the states, not only producing states, even consumer states. Both were affected, and there was a condition at the time of GST. First thing was, for the initial 5 years, the per year annual growth will be ensured by the GST Council. Average growth per year at that time was 14% per year. Every year tax rate will be increased. And plus that, there is a revenue neutral rate. Means at that time around 16% was the total tax of all. If your sales is 100 rupees, 16% was the revenue neutral rate. That will be protected. But both were not protected, and the government gave an assurance, central government, union government gave an assurance that there will be a protected revenue. If the revenue loss is there, tax is reduced from earlier thing, they will give compensation. But this only continue up to June 30th this year. After 30th June, there will not be any compensation. From my experience, Kerala alone, I can say, we will lose 10,000 crore rupees per year. So this is the loss which we are going to face, every state is going to face. Every state is arguing that this should not be there, but central government is not accepting the demand of the states. The central government is giving, out of the total GST, 50% is going to state and 50% is going to central. This also should be changed, because I earlier said 64% of the expenditure is borne by the state, and only 34-35 is by the center. So the percentage sharing also needs to be changed in the experience due to this experience. And not only this, now they are encroaching into other areas of taxation. One country, one registration is one example I said earlier. Around 4,000 or 5,000 in the case of Telangana, it may be 10,000 crore per year as registration charges. That is a state subject, land registration mainly. Now the central government in the last budget, our Union Finance Minister said that in the country there will be a new system, one country run registration. If from Lucknow, from Delhi, a plot in Hyderabad can be purchased and registered. That means the registration fee will go to who? Maybe go to some part of that state or central union government. So this is another encroachment into your minimum financial powers. So this is coming in other areas also. This kind of encroachment is coming. And then when we look into the transfer of resources, the central government is getting some resources. They are amassing the resources. Then from the resources they have to distribute to the states. How arbitrarily, without prejudice, they are doing this? That is an important area we have to look into that. Actually, they are distributing national resources and not center's resources. They are collecting this from the country. It is nation's resource and they have to distribute it accordingly. And there is a constitutional obligation to do like that. But during recent times, the policy of the central government is changing. Very frequently they are changing, and the distribution is not totally in an independent way or impartial way. There is some special interest or division. There are some new formulas they are making, and actually the Finance Commission should protect the cooperative federalism. Central government, the union government have to protect that. But while deciding about the Finance Commission and while deciding about these policies from Sundarayya Commission onwards, the commissions which studied central-state relationship, Sundarayya Commission, later Puji Commission, all the commissions said that states should be contacted and consulted. That is not happening, and arbitrarily they are making the distribution of resources. I am saying that it is national resources, not central government resources, but they are doing it as central government's resources. There are these finance commissions are mainly recommending the divisible pool, how much the central government have to give to states, and then some grant in aid. Grant in aid, according to the whims and fancies of, there is no proper criteria for giving grant in aid, and some policy for giving the divisible pool. And the central government's divisible pool, that means the fund or money which they are having to divide to the states, that is not increasing these days. Tax collection of the central government is not increasing. If you compare the earlier days, just before up to 2015-16, before the BJP days, it was 19% per year. Divisible pool was increasing. Now it is only 7.8%. The income of the central government in the divisible pool. Other income may be there, but the income or fund tax which they are collecting for distribution, that is coming down. 19% was the increase. Now it is only 7.8%. I know when speaking about the mathematics classes in schools are very boring. Now I am saying about all these accounts. It may be boring, but if fund is not coming, our life will be difficult. That is why I said this is a core center of distribution from the government. That is why I am saying the data of accounting. And generally, shareable, divisible pool in the central government, and some other money which they should not give. And when you are looking into the details, I said there is only growth from 19% to 7.8%. There's not a growth. And shareholder pool is coming down. Why? Corporate taxes exemptions are coming. Big houses tax exemptions are coming. In the this year itself, if you look into the accounts and balance sheets of companies, the net profit is jumping. If you look into the SBI, SBI is a public sector bank. State Bank of India, last day the final account came. Their quarter profit this year is 11,000 crores. That means annual profit is 44,000 crores. People are struggling and starving. If you look about ICICI or any other bank, if you look about the big business houses like Reliance or Adani or Tata or any company you look, their profit is jumping these days. And corporate tax is not going up. And if you tax like that, it will come in the shareable pool. And there is a new tendency by the central government. There is some fund, it is not shareable. Central government ka paisa apna hai. That is cess and surcharges. Cess and surcharges on earlier, the central government cess and surcharges are not usable. Earlier it was 10% of the total their income. Now it increased to 21%. Cess and surcharges. And there is a study report by Sudipto Undel in EPW, Economic and Political Weekly. Total cess and surcharge including GST compensation cess collected is more than 5.3 lakh crore in 2021-22. 5.3 lakh crores. So this cess and surcharges the central government is not bound to give to the states. And now a major question about the central government tax related to petrol and diesel came. They are collecting cess and surcharges all over petrol and diesel which we are taxing, states are taxing. Actually petrol and diesel are not expected to be taxed by the central government. It is state right. But under Article 271 of the Indian Constitution, there is a provision that some special circumstances central government can levy cess or surcharge on the taxes levied by the states. And now they are collecting taxes more than the state government tax. And around 5 lakh crore per year, 3 lakh, 4 lakh crore per year they are collecting. So it is our right. If you have some property, they are coming and taking our right from our property. That is what they are collecting. So this is a very serious issue now happening. And surcharge, special surcharge and cess is for emergency situation. If some war is coming, like casualty is coming, that is for. But now continuously they are collecting this money. If state government, Telangana government is collecting 25 rupees per litre, they are collecting 30 rupees. Actually, surcharge will be less. If a mother and child will be less, surcharge is a new baby. And mother is the main tax. But what is happening here? Surcharge is bigger than the mother. Bada bacha, chota ma. Like that surcharge. This is what is happening now. And the central government, union government's finance is reducing and the state share is important. If they have 100 rupees, they have to divide it to different states. And that is also reducing to some states. Kerala is very much affected. Andhra is affected. Tamil Nadu is affected. Karnataka is affected. Telangana is affected. Some states are not affected. For example, at the time of 10th Finance Commission, Kerala was getting 3.875%. Means if 100 rupees, 3 rupee 85 paisa Kerala was getting. At the time of 14th Finance Commission, it reduced to 2.45. Now it reduced to again 1.92. So earlier, every 100 rupees we are getting 3.85. Now we are getting only 1.9. Means we are losing around 20,000 crores per year. And they are saying not only for this, I can give the example of Tamil Nadu also. Tamil Nadu takes a reduction of 6.637% to 4.07. 6 to 4. For Andhra Pradesh, the share came down from earlier, then the United Andhra, it was 8.465. Now the Andhra AP is getting 4.047 and Telangana is getting only 2.1%. Unitedly it was 8 point something. 8 point, now it is unitedly 6%. There also that reduction is there. Why they are reducing? Because some states have not developed. You have developed. You have total education, you have total health system, you have good roads, you have good Anganwadis. Like some special teachers are giving special tuition to those who are not studying well. They are saying that these states should develop, then we will give you money. Actually, we did some more investment on education. I am saying about all the states which are developed. So the population percentage or any other matter is not concerned, and states are getting very less. So this is also a very serious aspect. It is a matter of concern to Telangana also. It's a matter you are also discussing here. Many states are discussing about this. Karnataka also they are discussing this. If the borrowing limit now they are trying to reduce it. I am not going into the details of the borrowing, but there is an FRBM Act which controls the right of the states. During COVID period it was 5% of the GSDP. Now it came down to 3.5%. So during the pandemic, what we have to do? Give maximum help to the people. Medicine, food. For example, Kerala, recently there was an NSO report, National Sample Survey Organization report. Kerala is having the lowest percentage of inflation in the country, only 5.1%. But many other states it's 9% like that. Why? They said the public distribution system was very good. In Kerala, we used to give free food kit to every household, irrespective of their wealth, their income, at the time of COVID. Because people may have money, but they cannot go to shops because of the lockdown. We decided in the first budget of this government, we said that we will go for 100% vaccination, free vaccination to all, and we put 1,000 crores in the budget. This year in the budget, the first announcement was that this will be the highest inflation period in the country, and where because of the economic crisis throughout the world, and that is why this Ukraine, Soviet, Russia, Ukraine, American crisis coming. Sri Lanka is recently came up. We said in the budget that this is an inflation year and we have to put more money, and initially we said that 2,000 crore rupees we are keeping for the public distribution system to control inflation. So we are spending money like this. And because of that, we were first in the country. For example, I am saying about Kerala. Niti Aayog says that in education, in health and public order, law and order system, everything, Kerala has got the first place. And we are spending, and for protecting the interest of the people we are spending. And what central government is saying that don't spend at this time. You reduce. If you reduce, people will die of starvation. If the country reduces, it is not against the principles of welfare steps and positive spending, but they are trying to curtail the borrowing. I heard, and we had a discussion, the Telangana Chief Minister also said the plight of the state because of the borrowing limits. And we have never failed, all the states, we never failed in giving back the money. Whatever we are taking, we are investing in education, we are investing because it's a very huge capital. Our human capital is very important. Other areas we are spending. So the state governments which are developed, they are not allowed to take necessary loan. Borrowing limit means that borrowing, now there is a 3.5%, but we accept it, it's 3.5% we take. But even they are trying to reduce it. Earlier I said that income, GST, this year we are going to lose 10,000 crores. From the grant, we are going to lose 7,000 crores. 17,000 crores this year we are losing. And again, this is coming, all the states are facing this problem. And at the same time, what central government is doing? The control is 3.5%. Last year we took only 3.4%. What central government took? It is 6.9%. They are professors. The master should show some samples or models. There is no super government over them, otherwise they will be controlled. So they are taking 6.9%, state is only taking 3 point or 3.5 lakh. Now they are trying to control. That area also, a huge attack is coming from the part of the central government to the states, but almost all states are demanding for more freedom. The debt to total GST ratio in Kerala is 37%. At the same time, it is union government is 61%. And if you collectively take all the debt of all the state governments, the union government's debt is much higher. This is the situation. And what is happening? IMF is saying they predicted a budget shrinking for more than 155 countries due to COVID-related fiscal crisis is happening this year. So, budget in many states is reduced. If you take the case of central government, this year budget is 39.4 lakh crores. And it is only just 4.6% increase from last year. That means your inflation is 10%. Your increase in budget is 4.6%. Actually, you are spending less than the last year. But in Kerala, we are spending 21% more than the last year. So, people have to get, many states are doing like that. This is their style of functioning. So, this will not be helpful. And actually, what they are doing in the central government budget, or the percentage may be difficult for you, but I have to say, the central government's budget, if you look into the matters, for food subsidies fell from 5.4 lakhs last year to 2.06 lakh this year. Food subsidies. And fertilizer subsidy came down from 1.3 lakh to 1.05 lakhs. There's a 25 lakh reduction, 25,000 reduction in fertilizer subsidy. Petroleum subsidy reduced from 38,000 crore to 5,800. There is a 32,000 reduction in petroleum subsidy. That is why this is increasing. And MNREG, there is a reduction of 1.1 lakh to 73,000 crores. It is reduced from 1.1 lakh to 73,000. There is a around 30,000 crores reduction. So LPG subsidy, it came down from 23,600 to 4,000 crores. So this is the style of functioning. Not necessary to give all the details, but everywhere they are reducing the subsidy from food to basic necessary items like and other universal employment scheme like MNREG.
కేంద్ర రాష్ట్రాల పరిస్థితి కనుక చూస్తే కేంద్రం యొక్క అప్పు శాతం ఎంత అంటే కేరళలో మా అప్పు జీడిపి నిష్పత్తి చూస్తే కనుక అది 34% అట్లా ఉంది. అదే కేంద్రంలో 69% ఉంది. ద్రవ్యోల్బణం విషయానికి వస్తే ద్రవ్యోల్బణం అనేది కరోనా కాలంలో 8% పెరిగింది. కానీ బడ్జెట్ 39 లక్షల కోట్లు ఏడాది బడ్జెట్ 4% మాత్రమే పెరిగింది. ద్రవ్యోల్బణం 8% పెరిగి మీరు బడ్జెట్ 4% మటుకే పెరిగితే ప్రజల యొక్క పరిస్థితి ఏమవుతుంది? నేను లెక్కలన్నీ కూడా చెప్పాను కాబట్టి మళ్ళీ చెప్పట్లేదు. ప్రతి సబ్సిడీ కూడా తగ్గించారు. ఆహార సబ్సిడీ, ఎరువుల సబ్సిడీ, ఇతరమైనటువంటి అవసరాలకు సంబంధించిన ప్రతి సబ్సిడీని కూడా మీరేమో తగ్గించారు, మేమో ప్రజల కోసం పెంచుతున్నాము, మీరు మా మీద ఆంక్షలు పెడుతూ ఉన్నారు.
Friends, in almost all areas, this is the attitude of the central government. They are not looking into the general well-being of the people of the country. This is an attitude. Everywhere there is a shrinkage in their expenditure. And when they are speaking about politics, they are trying to divide the people by using some other means. Actually, the living conditions in the country is going down. But I am not taking much time, I am going to conclude. But we have to work and struggle together for the interest of the people. In Kerala, what we are doing, see, our government, we have a very limited resources, state government. But we are trying to complete the houses for all the people by the end of the 5 years. So, last time, around 2,70,000, last 5 years, 2,70,000 houses we already gave to the people, those who are not having houses. Now there is a number around 3,50,000. Yesterday, day before yesterday, our Chief Minister inaugurated the houses, or gave keys to the people. Around 22,000 houses were distributed day before yesterday. This is just 1 year of this government. I said how we were successful in controlling the prices. This is within the limits of the financial, within the constraints we are doing. Health sector, what we are doing to, we are trying to increase the production in the agriculture sector, both production and productivity. New technology we have to use. Fertilizers we have to use. New technology like Andhra is very, Andhra Pradesh means Telangana and Andhra AP both. We are very successful in using modern technology in fisheries, other areas, even agriculture. We are trying to implement more schemes like this, and value added production should be there, because employment generation is an important thing, especially looking into the experience of Sri Lanka and other areas who were depending on other countries. Sri Lanka is double the size of Kerala. Population is less than us. But they abandoned agriculture because of wrong policies. So this is an eye-opener to the country. So all the states should increase the production. We are giving maximum impetus to the agriculture production, including value addition. Farmers should be protected, because farmers should be rewarded for their job. Nobody will do their work for moksha. They have to get monetary benefit for their work. Then science and technology is to be used in the area of industrial production, other areas. So we are giving maximum emphasis to those areas, looking into the best experiences of other states, other countries. We are trying for that. And this is very important for the people of the country, because we are going through a very critical juncture, because where the finances are bleeding, many of the countries are facing, and even US and other countries, including the biggest capitalist countries, are facing a lot of inflation. So the union government have to take a lead to protect the interest of the people, and the state government have to work together. That is collective cooperative federalism. But that is not happening. So the income distribution should be revisited. The taxation powers should be revisited, and today there is a earmarking judgment, landmarking judgment by the central government related to, by the Supreme Court, related to the taxation powers and cooperative federalism aspect. Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court said that cooperative federalism means should be central and state government have to discuss together, and the GST Council cannot include or compel the state government to do this tax like that. So it's a landmark judgment. In the coming days, more discussion is needed to protect the interest both state and center. We are not arguing for the rights of the state alone, because we are with the principle of the constitution. India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. So states should be there, center should be there, both should be strengthened. For that, we have to protect the cultural, political, judicial, administrative, financial rights of states as well as center. India is a country with more than 500 small contingents, and we have different cultures. We have different, even if you take about food, not only language, not only other aspects. If you take the aspect of food, those who are eating dog and snake are there. Those who are eating worms are there. I am saying not non-veg. Veg are many aspects. So from different items now people are eating. In the world also, beetles and cockroaches in commercially breeding and farming is there. So children food, baby food, the beetles flesh is used. Let's say if you look Google, that is there. So different areas, different kind of culture is there. In India, from northeast to south, different style of food is there, different languages here is there, different dress is there, but we are united by a historic past. We are united. So the recent impulsive sentiments and statements to divide people will not help the country. The country should be united. For the country should be united, we have to protect the historic aspects as well as the democracy of the country, the beliefs of the country. the circular fabric of our country. That is very important. Unfortunately, many of the people who are running the politics at the center and in many states, they are not understanding about the values of the country. We have to protect the interest of the country. Comrade Sundarayya, as a legendary figure in the country, his name, and likewise many leaders like him, their name as giving very strong advice and spirit to us to fight for the unity and integrity of the country, for the collective movement of the country, for the cooperative federalism of the country. I think we have to fight for the interest of the people, and the union government and the state governments will relook into the matters on the basis of the experience, and that is what I have to say in this aspect. Once again, I am thanking you all for inviting me to this very important meeting here, and I am happy that this is after COVID, after 2 years of online meeting. This is the first meeting, offline meeting, and being part of that, I am very happy to be here. So thank you, comrades. That's it.
సుప్రీంకోర్టు